Hi guys, so welcome to this session. In this section, we are going to cover up objects and methods. So basically, till date, we have covered lots of basic concept about objects and what objects can contain. Obviously, objects can contain properties. In this today's lecture, we are going to cover up that properties can be not just simple data types like string or any kind of data types, but it could be also functions. Okay, that we are going to cover up, and why we need function inside an object. This is the purpose of that thing. In any object oriented language, this concept of object, in any language, programming language, if you have known or if you will study for going forward, the concept is the same. Every object will contain some data or information, and it will have some functions or some, in other words, function is like its behavior, its or some kind of action that object want to perform on its data. So for that we need methods inside the object. I'll not go into the theory of all those things. I will directly jump into the practical example, and that is the best way to learn by going through a practical example. So let's take one example I have made for you. So let's take a simple person object. Let's say this person is person one, and it has very simple information that okay, this person one has three kind of payments methods. Either he can pay using a credit card or a American Express or a UPI payment gateway. Okay, it may differ with a different person. The get payment methods which that person has, it may differ. But here it is very simple. This person one has three payment methods: credit card, American Access, UPI, mobile wallet. Now this information is also known as data. That okay, this person one is having this data or this information. Okay, if I think, if I just visualize that okay, my person one is an object, because ultimately we're going to write some programs. So if I visualize that person one is an object, then I can say okay, this object will contain properties that okay, this person one has three different payment methods. Okay, how we are going to store that thing, we will just come uh, come to that in just in this moment. Apart from that, what new things we'll cover today is the behavior or the action of the objects. I will give the practical example. I'm not going to the theory right now. So let's say I go to a restaurant, and I have to pay. I have to pay, and I see the bill amount. Sometimes it may happen that your UPI balance is less, then you may choose a credit card. It may happen that your credit card balance is less or outdated, or some issues there with credit card. Your card is not working as of now. So it depends on the situation, and depending on the situation, you can choose, or you can say, okay, I have only two payment options, not three payment options. Okay, my UPI is working, my credit card is working, but my American Express is not working, or vice versa. Any one option, at least your one payment option must be working to process the payment. It depends on the situation. I'll give you the situation which I have in my mind. Okay, and second is that okay, whenever you have multiple payment option, the the hotel or the restaurant will give you different discount. Let's say you are paying through American Express, they will give you some discount. Some cashback also is possible. If you're paying through credit card, obviously they will have some discount offer. They may not have a discount offer. But usually, what is the choice of this person one? That this person one will choose that option which will result in the lowest bill, as most of us will do. It will differ from different person to different person. But for simplicity, I've just made this very simple person model or object where it has simple information. What is the information? Credit card, American Express, UPI. All these are payment gateways or payment methods. What is the behavior? Okay, if somebody, the restaurant asks what payment method would you like to have, that person might say okay, I have only this two payment option, and he may hide the actual all three payment option. He may hide, he or she may hide that okay, I don't have three option, as we can see here. He can say to the restaurant that okay, I only have one option or two option, whatever. So this is known as behavior or the actions that that this object will perform at the time given the external situation and then this situation. So let's start with very simple how to model this object and how to model both the information and the behavior. Okay, so information is nothing but data. Information is nothing but data. Behavior is not data. Behavior is kind of some functionality, some kind of unique way of doing things. Okay, so it is like more like a behavior or like an action that object will perform. So I'll copy this thing so that I can copy this thing and I'll paste this in a new file. So let me make a new file, and this is the new file, method 2.js. So what we have in mind, so we have person1, this information, this behavior. I'll just comment it out. How to comment it? Just write slash star and then star slash. So this comments is done. So let's start. So again, now for defining an object we need a variable. So the person1 is a variable. It will consist of the object. So we are going to try to model the object. Okay, so person1 is the object. Now these three information are three different information but belonging to the same group. What is the same group? That both are payments methods. So can I say this is nothing but the payments methods, or say payment methods available to this person. So and because we have multiple payment options, we can say this is an array. We can store that in an array. So I can first copy this thing and paste. So this is done. Okay, array. Okay. Now what next? Now we will start with making one simple method. Okay. Now expose the payments. So what it does mean? Whenever somebody will come to this person on object and ask for what payment methods this person has, you have. Okay, so if somebody comes and asks to this person, so this function, so we are going to write a function inside this object. That function will this will output the available method which this person one wants to show to the outside world, to that particular restaurant, based on certain condition. So how that is possible? So let's start with this thing, writing the method. So let's say available payment methods. So basically this is also property, this is also property. Now this property is a array, and now I am going to make this property, after property colon sign, a function. So now we are introducing how to write a function inside a object. So property can have any value. Here we have written array, it can be another object also, it can be anything. Okay, any value possible. Similarly, it can be also a function. So inside of object we can have properties which can be a function, and we don't need to write the name. If you write the name, it is fine. If I write ABCD and no issues, I can write no issues, but there is no purpose of writing this ABCD, because whenever we call this function, okay, this is a function, we will call using this name. We don't need this name. Okay, so we don't need this name, but then also I will write ABCD here. Okay, just for your understanding. Okay, we don't, but we really don't need the name. Now what happens here, this function will accept what? The bill amount, because whether to showcase what payment methods are available, it will accept the, so it will expect that it gets the bill amount, and based on the bill amount it will decide what payment method to use. So let's say if the payment method, sorry, not payment method, sorry, if the bill amount, which is the parameter of the function, okay, is greater than 1500, means it is more than 1500, so we are going to use credit card and American Express for the payment. So this person one He's going to use credit card and American Express for the payment. He's not going to use the UPI. Why not? Because whenever the bill is at a higher cost, let's say the higher cost is more than 1500 and so generally you get some discount in various restaurants. So let's say that is the case. So he will prefer, and whenever somebody will say okay, he will see okay, this is the amount. It may happen that his balance is also low. He don't want to do the payment using the UPI. That can be also the case. He don't want to use the hard cash. Okay, because UPI is using the is going to debit the money from the current saving account, the cash account. But these are all debit. These are all credit thing. Okay, credit card and American Express are the credit. So you are. So it depends. It depends on situation. So let's say this is the condition. So he make a choice based on the bill amount. So if bill amount is 1500, what he will do? Return everything, no problem, except UPI. Okay. And what if it is less than 1500? So if it is less than 1500, then he don't mind using any payment option. He can tell to the restaurant that okay, I have all three options: credit cards, American Express, and UPI. Okay. In that scenario, he will simply return what is this value? Payment methods. Okay. Now payment method is not a variable. If you see, payment method is not a variable. Payment method is a property inside the object. Now, suppose you are writing a method. This is a method. Okay, this is method is a function. This property is a function. Okay, this is known as method because it is defined inside a function. So, if a function is defined inside a object, it is known as a method, object method. So, if you have a method, object method, and you want to access this property means payment method properties, which is inside the person and object. You can simply write here payment methods. You can see this property is already coming because this is already defined property. It knows that this editor knows that this payment method property is already defined. So if the moment I hit enter, I have just hit enter. Can you see this disappears? So this is a special keyword it used to denote that okay, this is not a local variable inside this function like bill amount. In bill amount I have not used this because this is just a local variable, the parameter. Or maybe suppose I define a local variable, whatever local variable I defined. Okay, we don't need this for this thing because this is a local variable, this is a local variable, this is also a local variable, parameters are local variables, but this is not a local variable. This is the property of the same object in which this method is defined. So whenever you access the same properties of the same object, you automatically this will has to be there. Otherwise, it will throw a error. The payment method is not defined. Okay. So here here the editor is helping me to do this thing. If you're using a different editor, this might not appear. So always remember, whenever you're writing the properties, you have to use this. Okay, this is done, and that's it. Okay, what if the bill amount is more than 1500? We have to remove this payment methods. We have to remove this property. This property UPI mobile. Now, can you see this property is at which place? This property is at the last place. Okay, this property is the last place. 1, 2, and 3. Now, if I ask you, do you know how to delete an element from the last element? Because this is an array. We'll do a simple operation. We will delete this from the last element. So, what I will do, I will create a local variable. We'll say, okay, payments methods. Okay. Now, this is different from this because I'm using var. So, var is like local variable. Okay. And I will say, okay, this is equal to, I'll copy this thing. So, I will say, okay, this dot payment methods. So basically what I'm doing, I'm trying to copy this uh, 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 what I will say, the properties into a local variable. Why? Because I'm going to delete the last value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete. So I will say, okay, delete and payment methods of, let's say, what is the value? 2. Okay, sorry, what is happening? uh, Sorry, okay, it is delete. Okay, so delete is there. It will delete the last value, and what we'll do after deleting the last value, I will say okay, payment methods, this is a local variable. Okay, I will not return this method, but I will return this method. Okay, so let us run this. How to run this thing? Just write person1 dot. The moment you do the dot, all the properties will come. So these two properties you can see this thing, but what I'm interested in, this is the property, this is the method. I want to check this method, but it is expecting a bill amount. Let's say the bill amount is 1600 rupees. I'm passing the bill amount, and I want to see the output of this thing. What is the payment method it is giving? So let's say where payment methods. So I want to see this thing, what is the output, and I want to console log. So payment methods, I want to see the output. Okay, so let us run this thing. I'll put a debug point here and start running. No, 16. So I'll go inside this function. No, the bill amount is 1600. Now, does it have you used ABC? You have not used ABC. You have used the property name. Okay, don't we need to use the name, because it is, we can directly get the method using the property name. Okay, we are inside the function, so this is not needed. Okay, I will remove this thing. This is not needed. No, the bill amount is 1600. Come here. Bill amount is 1600. Yes, it is more than 1500. Yes. So I'm going to copy this 3 array into my local variable. Okay, again become this thing. I'm going to delete. After deleting, what is there? Only two value is there. And okay, so you can see now UPI is deleted, because I have deleted from the last place, because I knew the last places of the UPI, so I deleted that thing. Okay, so I am returning this thing. So yeah, and if you go and check, but the problem you can see now in this dot payments, this is the current object, and the payment methods, you can see it is also decremented, because there is concept of reference variable, which I have not taught you yet. I'm going to teach you in the coming lectures, don't worry. But you can see this thing, if I am deleting this thing, uh, this also got deleted from the original variable, from original properties from where we have copied. We have copied from this payment methods. Okay, this is properties and this is a local variable, but both are pointing to the same array. And what is the concept we will cover in next lecture, but let's not focus on that one. Let's come to our, so if I go and you can see the payment methods is, yeah, so this is the output, that depending on the bill your payment method has changed. Okay, now the person1 object is returning these two methods, that they are saying okay, I can pay using credit card and American Express, but the behavior changed because of the this bill amount. Okay, but what is the behavior we can't guess, we have to ask to the person object, we have to call this method. So this method is inside the person1 object, we have to call that method to get the answer. So that is the thing. Now once this is done, once this is done, uh, let's say when this is done, yeah, so let's change the value. Let's say change the bill amount to 1000 rupees. Again run this thing, rerun this thing. So now the payment methods, you can see all three payments methods are available, because if I rerun this thing, if I go inside the function using F11, okay, bill amount is 100. So it comes to the else part. In else we are returning all the values which is stored in this property. So this property is holding the array which contains all the three values. It is simply returning all the three values. So this local this variable here, this is not a local variable, because local variable is defined inside the function. So this is a global variable. So it now says it understands, okay, so this, no, this is the output: credit card, American Express, UPI, all three. So it depends on the value. It depends on the value of the what I will say, on the bill amount. So this is a behavior. This is a behavior which we saw here. Okay. So for that we have written a method. Okay. Now before jumping into the second part. So what is the second part? The second part is choose the option which result in lowest bill. So what do I mean by that thing? Because it option will not be the option has to be given through a restaurant. The restaurant will give the option that, okay, you have let's say they are offering you 20% discount on credit card, 30% discount on American Express. Okay, based on that we have to. So I will not start and just start writing this thing, because before that we have to also model our restaurant object or the hotel object. Okay, so I'll stop here for the person on object. I'll revisit my this thing file. In this thing I have already defined the hotel object. So what is the hotel object? Let's say we have a hotel X. Okay, it also has some information. It also accepts some payments. Now if you see here, it accepts two things. One is credit card and second is UPI, but it does not accept American Express. So this information, so whenever there's a billed amount, you can only process the payment if the restaurant is accepting your payment methods. Otherwise you can't do that thing. So we have to first match whether your payment methods and the restaurant payment method, at least one of the payment methods should match. That is compulsory. Otherwise you will not be able to process the payment or pay through pay, okay, the billed amount. Now here I am written this as an information because this is again the data. Now this hotel also has certain behavior action. What is the behavior? If somebody says come to suppose the customer comes to the restaurant and ask, okay, this is a customer, they're asking what is the available payment options, okay, to a customer. So the first thing is that the hotel will say, okay, no issues, tell me. The customer has to just provide the restaurant that, okay, I am having the American Express, I am having the credit card, I am having the UPI, or whatever methods. And the restaurant will say, okay, I don't have the American Express, I have the credit card with 10% discount, or you can pay using UPI. So it depends on restaurant to restaurant or hotel to hotel. So here we are going to cover this topic. This we are going to write this function, that how this is possible using the depending on the how to write this function, where they are directly talking with the customer and giving the options. And then final bill is obviously, let's say the customer says, okay, I have these two cards, and tell me what are the payment options. And the hotel says, okay, these are the payment options, this is a credit card, this is the UPI. And your uh, uh, then your customer has to choose one of the payment option for final payment. So let's suppose he choose one of the final option, and then he gives his credit card or the UPI number or whatever is to the restaurant and say, okay, let's process the payment and calculate the final bill. So then the restaurant will apply the discount and the cashback, whatever is possible, and give the final bill and process the payment. So let's suppose we have to do this thing. How we will do this thing? So we'll cover right now. So let's copy this thing. I will go in the same, because we have to write the same program. Okay. So yeah. So right now we are going to paste this thing here. Again, I will write in comments. So again slash star and again star slash. Okay. So let's again make a variable. Sorry. So where, let's say hotel X. Again no object, curly braces means again no object. Now what information it has? Okay, again payment method is available. So I can say, okay, it accepts what it accepts. So first is it accepts credit card. second UPI payment. Okay, UPI, like here it is UPI, same thing. So I copy this thing, UPI mobile wallet, same name, otherwise name will not match. Okay, so now you can see, okay, and now it will have certain uh, methods available. Okay, so first is available payment option to the customers. Okay, so what do you mean by that thing? So for that thing, we'll design a available options. Now this options is again, now this will be a function, and now in this what will happen, the customer will give its particular what I will say options, that what he's having the uh, payment methods interested in. So I will say this will be like person payment methods, and this will be a array. Okay, why array? Because let's say here you can see this payment methods was a array. Okay, if you remember, here the payment methods was an array. If I rerun this thing, just a minute, yeah, so let me rerun this thing. So if I rerun this thing, okay, so you can see the output is a array. Okay, based on the bill it is giving the array. Now this array is given by the person one is giving this information in form of array, that I have three payment methods, either credit card, American Express and UPI. Now what is will happen in this method, that this information will be passed as parameter. Okay, this information will be passed as a parameter to this function available option, and it will then calculate what is the best option, whether what is the final options which they can offer to the customer. Let's say based on the discount, let's say I will say offers, we also have offers. Okay, so offers like that. Okay, let's say now for credit card somebody is giving 10% discount. Okay, let's say somebody is giving yeah, and there's no discount on UPI, so forgot about that thing. Okay, now so what will happen in this function, that we are going to calculate, okay, what are the available options of payment uh, given that the customer is providing, okay, what is the options available from their side and giving the offer. So in this method we are going to compare what the customer has given the information to us, the payment information to us, and what offer we have in our hand, what do we accept. Okay, suppose the user has given something which we don't accept, so we can't give the final options, payment option to the customer. So we are going to give, what is the input. So in this thing, input will be a customer will give their payment options, okay, from their side, that okay, this is the available payment options as we have seen, and based on that yeah, so based on what this hotel sorry accept, okay, hotel accept, and what offers it has offering right now, it will give the output as what's possible payment options. It will give the output as what is possible payment options, and with discounts, what is the discount possible in all this information. It will, so this is the output, final output will be, okay, what is the possible payment option with discount. So this is we have to write in this function. Let's start. Yeah, So now see, this is an array. This is coming from customer side. Okay. Now we have to filter this thing. It may happen that, let's suppose the bill amount is 100 rupees, and then the person says, okay, I have all three payment options. It does not mean that we can process all the three payments. The rest, sorry, the hotel can't process all the three payment option because it does not have American Express, or it may differ from hotel to hotel, from person to person. They may have different payment methods. Okay, so first we have to match whether the parameter which is coming here, whether this is available whether it is available in this accept property or not. If it is available in accept property, then only we are going to accept that thing, otherwise we are going to filter that thing, and then we will output the final offer in terms of uh, your this thing, what is possible. So let's start. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to write a for loop. Now to iterate through a array, we need a for of loop. Okay, so we are going to loop scan through one by one to each of the variable. So we'll say where, so copy this thing, where this of this. So this is nothing but the parameter. This is a local variable which will be created as a result of the for loop. So whenever you have to iterate through an array, use for of loop. Okay, what will happen whenever for of loop will run? Every time whatever is the elements inside this array will be populated in this uh, variable one by one. So let's suppose the size of this array is 3. So first time it will have the first element, second time second element, third time third element. Okay, we'll see. We will debug every line and I will show you everything. There is no need to guess anything. Okay, once this is done, we have to check whether this is available in this accept property or not. Whether this person payment method is available in this accept property or not. So for that thing, see, I have to write accept. The moment I write accept, again you can see this appear. Why this appear? Because this is again a property. So it will automatically appear. Dot, there is an include method. So this is the array. So includes is something, you can see the documentation. We are searching for the element inside the array. So I'm going to search for this first element, whether this is available in this accept or not. If it is available, then only we are going to say, okay, this payment method is possible, otherwise not. So for that thing, we have to create a let's say a empty object. So what is an empty object? So that will consist of possible options. Okay. So why it is a object and not an array? I'll tell you why I have designed something like this. So once this is happening, I will just write, okay, options. I will just write the payment method possible as a, so this is the object. I am creating a new key in this thing, new property. So this will become a new property, and the value will be so the value will be nothing but the discount. Okay, so I will say, okay, offers. Again offer, this comes because this is coming from this is coming from this is this is coming from. Okay, so just sorry, just a minute. So this is coming from yeah, so this is coming from the object. So whenever something is coming from object property, you have to write this. So what is this? You will, so I'm understanding what is happening. This is going to very high level for you. So don't worry, just stick for one moment. I will explain each and everything. I will minimize this thing, make a space for this thing. Just a moment. Yeah. So, and then finally after the for loop ends, return What options? So options was initially empty object. We populated the object and then finally return the object. Okay, so we are going to, so I am going to cover up right now. So how I am going to cover up? I'll just say, okay, so instead of, yeah, so I'll copy this thing from here, I will cut it, I will write in the end. So let's say this person 1 is making a payment of 100 rupees. Okay, so now person 1 will tell, so payment method contains the information about person 1, what available methods he is trying to expose to the world, and then we are going to use this value to pass to hotel X. So hotel X dot uh, okay, available options. Okay, in available options you can see this it is expecting a array, and so pass this is array, and finally I will get the what is the all options available from their restaurant side given the our options. Okay, so this is a very simple program, and I know this logic seems a little bit tough to you, but don't worry, I will tell you each of everything, because we are going to debug each and every line. So I'll put a debug point here. I will reload this thing. Okay, so it goes here. Now payment method is again the same because it is not going to change, because based on this 100 rupees it will give all the 3 options. Now I am passing this value to the restaurant, to the hotel, that okay, this person 1 is having all 3 possible payment methods, and do you have any discount for that thing, and what is the payment option from available from your end, given that this person has these 3 payment options. So we are providing the input, we are waiting for the restaurant, the hotel to give us the output. So let us go inside and see the logic. Step into this thing. Step into this thing. Now see, person payment methods, you can see this 3, the array. The array has come. The array has come here. Okay. Now this is the loop. First element, second element, third element. 0, 1, 2, 3 are the 3 indexes. Now we are not going to use any indexes in this for loop. We are going to use a for off loop. So what will happen? This first value is undefined. But the moment I am hitting this thing, you can see the value is populated. No, it's not still populated, but right now populated. Can you see? Now the first value, can you see? What is the first value? The credit card. Because right now, this for off loop will go through the array one by one. It will take the first value and populate in this thing, then the second value and the third value. So we are scanning through the for loop, okay, one by one, the array using the for off loop. Now accept is itself an array which has an include method. Include search. Include is a method which search for the value. So it is searching credit card inside this accept. We have this thing? Yes, we have. So this if will evaluate to true. This will evaluate to true, and it will come inside this thing. Okay. Now option is still blank. This is blank object. Nothing is there. Now this square bracket is used to create a new property. And what is the name of the property? Credit card. Okay. So what I am doing, I am dynamically creating the new properties in options. Okay. Option is the object. In that I am creating the properties. Now just for reference, people who don't know, people who know, but I have covered this thing already, but just for your reference, suppose I want to create a property in this object. There's 2 ways of doing this thing. I have to write options dot and the name of the property. So let's say I say age equal to 10. So this is one of they doing the things using the dot property. Other way of doing this thing is that write square bracket, and in this thing write the property name as a string. I have covered this thing already, but then also I'm recapping, and then write. So I'm using this syntax, which is that this is age is a value. So this person payment is a variable which contain that value, credit card. Okay, like this age is there, this is credit card, because, and it is inside a, I'm writing it directly here, and it is inside a variable. What is the variable name? Person payment method. You can see this thing. Its value is string. Okay, value is string, and which is nothing but credit card. Okay, I will write in a different manner. Let's say where property name, and say okay, property name is age. And if I copy this thing, and instead of age I write, now it makes no difference because property name is nothing but age. Okay, the value of this is age, it is a string. So what is happening here? Options, in this options we are going to create a new property, and the value, the name, the property name will be age. So this is just a variable. Okay, it is, so same thing is happening, same thing is happening here. If you see carefully, same thing is happening here. Options is empty, this is credit card. I'm going to create the property, but when we are going to create the property, we are also going to assign the value. So what is the value? So here it is going to check the values from offers. Now offers is already a object which contains credit card and 10. So if I say okay, this is the object, this is the property name, this object has the property name, yes, it has credit card. Offer already has credit card, and the value is 10. Okay, so it will give 10. So if I run this thing, you can see option, what is the value? Credit card and 10. So I have just copied the value from offer to my option object, but I have checked this condition, that whether this was available in the accept pair or not, then only it is possible, whether this value was available in this or not. Again it will run second time. Second time it runs American Express. Now American Express is not inside this thing. So if I run this thing, yeah. Now, yeah. So just a minute. Options. Yeah. Yeah. So UPI mobile wallet. Okay. Yeah. So now the third value has come. Is it in accept? Yes, it is in accept. So we are going inside the if. Okay, and inside the if, we have already created these options. You can see UPI mobile wallet undefined. Why undefined? Because in this I am just going inside this offer object and trying to get the value of the property. Now this property is not there, UPI is not there, that's why the value is undefined. Okay, that's why we have got undefined. Okay, so we have to change a little bit, we have to do some more coding, that whenever I am getting a undefined value, okay, before returning this options, final option, you can see all options, credit card 10, UPI mobile wallet undefined. This is not looking good, because what do you mean by undefined? It should be 0. So what I'll do, whenever I'm writing this thing, I'm just going to write here that if, okay, if the options, this, the newly created this property, and if the value of this is undefined, okay, if this value is equal to undefined, so what to do? Okay, if it is undefined, make it 0. So this will be much better. Okay, I rerun this code. And you can see the value. Okay, you can see the output, all options, credit card 10, UPI mobile wallet 0. Okay, so what is all option giving? So this all option method is giving us, okay, given this payment methods, American Express, it is not accepting, it is expecting credit card and UPI, because it, Hotel X has these two payment methods, correct? So it is expecting this to, it is accepting this too, and it is also combining that with the offer. Okay, that okay, this has 10% offer, this doesn't have any offer, and giving the options here. Okay, and now we have the option. Okay, and this option will be given to the person one, and then the person one will choose the lowest discount, because we have made this simple. They will choose the lowest discount and do the payment, but we'll stop right now because I don't want to stress too far. We'll cover this, we'll complete this assignment in the next lecture. But in this lecture I wanted to start why we need objects, sorry, why we need methods inside a object. So because it is easier to operate. Okay, right now when I write this, okay, so this means okay, current object data, current object property. Okay, so it is easier to operate, and that's why we need methods inside the objects. And I will give you more information, more formal information about and details about what is the other advantage of using methods inside the object. But I wanted to start with a practical scenario, because the problem is that people don't give, you don't get most of the practical scenario, you get more theoretical treatment of the subjects, of the concept, and that's why concepts are not clear. So I wanted to make a concept clear that okay, this method, this available option method is available in the hotel object, not in the person object. Okay, because this behavior is tied with the hotel object, not with the person object. But at the similarly, we will add the calculate final bill in this particular object only, because that is the duty of the hotel to tell you the final bill. Now this available payment methods is a method which is tied to this person one object, because person one can expose what payment method he can choose, or he may not choose, whatever he wants to do depending on his will or her will. Okay, we don't, the hotel does not have a say in this thing. So that is how objects and methods are designed in an object oriented world. Okay, person one is different, hotel is different, both have different data information and different behavior, different set of responsibility or action. Calculating final bill is not the responsibility of the person. Okay, the final bill will be calculated by the hotel and it will be given to the person. But person one, what payment method he can choose, it is his choice. So that the restaurant has to ask with the person one. Okay, so these are some basic things which I wanted to give you start. And see, this the series which we are covering right now is advanced JavaScript, and most in advanced JavaScript we have to cover the advanced parts and more and more of the object oriented parts. And sometimes it will be a little bit maybe for you, it may be for the first time when you will go through the videos, it may not make 100% get the things in the first go. So don't worry about those things. Just whatever videos I'm uploading, whatever lectures I'm uploading, just go through that and run it. Once you run it, next videos again, go through that video again, run it. After some time you will when you will again revisit all the videos, it will make a lot of sense, because these are very new concepts for people like you who are learning object oriented programming for the very first time. It may not make sense everything. There's no need to worry. Just go through the videos, practice at your end, and slowly will uh, uh, see that everything is clear after a while. It takes time. Okay, and I wanted to cover the advanced part because there is no use of doing the basics part. Basics will not help you grow and do real world problems. Real world problems are complex, so we have to face complex scenarios on day-to-day basis. So you have to have the habit of going through complex scenarios and dealing with all those things. If I'll give you basics, very basic examples, there is no use of that thing. Okay, so okay, fine, I'll stop and this thing. And this lecture is not yet complete. In the next video I'm going to complete this assignment, that okay, what after this thing, what after this thing, your yeah, what after the options, what is the next step, how to process this thing, what is the best way to do this thing. So we'll cover in the next lecture, and it will not take much time, maybe 15-20 minutes or more, not more than that. I will complete this assignment, and after that time I will also run you through what is the more formal definition of not definition, but the more formal technical advantage and disadvantage of using functions, methods inside the object or not. I'll cover all those things. But I'll stop as of now, and thank you for watching, and hope you will practice at your home and become good in JavaScript and object-oriented programming. Okay, thanks. Bye.